Good morning. This is day 4. So I made a decision. First, I'm going to start with my weight. Here it is. So like I said, I haven't been under 120 in quite some time, so I'm super excited to see it drop. Again, I know the emphasis is not weight, but it is nice to see it and to be able to fit in one of my favorite shirts that I have not fit into like way before I had baby 4. So with that said, I have made a decision on what I'm going to eat. I'm going to continue this carnivore diet, but I'm going to actually include tomatoes, and I have a reason why. I didn't just randomly pick a vegetable. I have a reasoning behind it. So I went to the garden and I was able to pick out all these tomatoes, and I know the frost is coming. I want to actually enjoy the last batch, so I'm going to include tomatoes. That way I don't feel bad and I won't regret like not enjoying it, and it's super healthy. So this morning I'm going to start off with eggs, tomatoes, and some steak, and then I don't know what I'm going to do for lunch or dinner, so I'll keep you posted. I do want to add that it makes it much easier to like look forward to meals when I include something that I really do enjoy, and tomatoes are one of them. To answer some quick questions, one is, are we continuing to do our homeschooling? Yes, we're still on track and everything's good. It does make it a little more difficult because again, it's 2 meals every single time. In addition, so today for lunch, I'm gonna have steak again that I had this morning. It is so dried out. I used the George Foreman last night, and I usually don't use that for steak, but I just, again, was trying to do super convenient. It turned out horrible. So now I have this super duper dried steak, and I'm actually excited that I at least brought back tomatoes because I can eat it with it. But I am thinking like, can I throw some mustard on it or something that's like, doesn't have a bunch of additives in it, because it just tastes really bad. But if you know me, I'm not gonna be throwing it out. I will definitely be eating it as bad as it is, because it's still food. I always tell the kids that we don't eat food for entertainment all the time. Sometimes it's just for survival. So this is me and the steak right now. It's really dried out. So I'm actually very, very grateful for tomatoes today, because otherwise I have no idea how I would eat this, because by itself it was dreadful. So dinner time, and I made myself some shrimp, and I actually didn't overcook it. I overcooked steak and shrimp last night, so this is gonna be much better because I already tasted it. I really don't know the portions though with this eating meat / eggs. I feel like this morning I thought making 2 eggs, some steak, and some tomatoes would be enough, and yet my daughter ended up finishing what I didn't finish because it was just too much. So I am struggling with figuring out how much I need. I think I put myself enough, then I realize I need more, or I put too much and then I can't finish it. So all right, I will see you guys tomorrow, and thanks for watching.
So it's a little harder to record at times at dinner just because obviously we have the 4 kiddos. But I wanted to mention that I felt a little bit different today in terms of eating. I felt like I ate more, and that's probably because I introduced tomatoes, so I was able to have them at breakfast and at lunch, and that made me so excited to actually eat. And then at dinner, I felt like I finally didn't overcook whatever I was cooking. So the last few days, I feel like a lot of the things that I've cooked, a lot of the meats and stuff have been dried, and that's because I haven't really followed any recipes, and usually I follow recipes for the most part. And so this time I kind of just like did whatever and cooked the stuff. So everything was a little bit more bland. And then today, again, I love the tomatoes, so I really enjoyed breakfast and lunch. And then at dinner, the shrimp that I made turned out really good and not over dried like it did yesterday. So I really enjoyed it. So I'm actually just predicting, and I'm guessing that tomorrow morning I may not lose weight because it felt like I ate more today. And I'm assuming that the reason people drop in weight, this is just an assumption of course, is because even though they're eating meat and whatever else this diet consists of, for me it's like meat and the eggs, but I think it's because they're not eating as much. That's my guess. I don't think they're actually taking in the full amount of calories, because there's only so many calories you can get from meat until you're like, okay, I'm done with this meal. Like it just feels full even though it wasn't as big portion as many other things. So hopefully that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind.